All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Three Essential Questions. My name is Pam Myers with Pam Myers Social Media. My co-host is Erica Yoakum with Virtual Personal Assistant Extraordinaire. And we do this show every Thursday morning at 9:30, and we record it and then we post it out on social media for those that would like to watch. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, just let us know. We would love to have you. Our guest today is Sara Sara is the Executive Director of Watermelon Mountain Ranch. Well, I can't say enough for Watermelon. It is one of the best organizations in the state, if not the best, for taking care of animals in need and all of the services that they provide. So Sara, welcome.
Oh, thank you for having me. Thank you so much for the kind words also. I'm excited to be here.
Good. Yeah, you're very welcome. Well-deserved. Absolutely well-deserved. So our first question is, what have you learned about yourself and your business with everything that's been going on?
So we've been very fortunate that the support that we've found in the public has been humbling, to say the least. While things were so dire for so many and things were shutting down, and as the pandemic was really hitting home here, the public never wavered. They were bringing out food. They were messaging us. Our adoptions have still gone up. Thankfully, because of the public support, we haven't had to turn down a single transport since the shutdown started. We've been fortunate to be able to continue our life-saving work, even in the chaos, and seeing the empathy and the compassion that the public has had toward us and really toward each other it redeems that faith in humanity sometimes when the people are still coming together, our fosters are still coming out, the flexibility of the public with changing everything we've done and going digital and going by appointment only and really changing what we do. They've let us do it and they've supported us through all of it. And we've been very grateful during this time.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful because their needs never stop.
Right. I was going to say, at least as humans, we're realizing that, we have our issues, but the animals don't know, why should they have to be affected by what's going on with us? It's interesting that people would be, I just find it interesting. The whole thing is that is redeeming to me, that it would just continue on and the support is still there and people are realizing that the animals are innocents in this, so that they need to still be cared for.
And it's just, it's changed a lot of people's minds and wanting to open their homes to a shelter pet. For a lot of folks that have been on lockdown and shut down by themselves, I've been fortunate since I'm essential. I can still go to work. I can still do those kinds of things. But when people have been shut in by themselves, they've lost all that social interaction. They've lost a lot in their day-to-day. Having that pet with them now it's gotten people out. They're walking their dogs. They're playing with their cats. They're getting some kind of engagement that they lost with the shutdown. And we had a dog that's been with us. Groovy's been with us almost 3 or 4 years. He went into foster with a lady that had been furloughed. She had lots of time on her hands, and so she was open to taking this big, goofy pit bull. And as of yesterday, his adoption was finalized. Yay! So he gets to stay with her forever, and he is so attached to her. Like that's his human now, and our team was so excited that Groovy is finally out of the shelter and he has this home that he's been spoiled rotten for the last few months. And it's that kind of story that's why we keep doing this, and it has given us that faith in humanity.
Yeah.
Very cool. So it sounds like you've had, so question number 2 is how have you responded to this situation? And it sounds like, can you explain a little more about some of how your practices have changed? You mentioned appointment only and that kind of thing. So explain that a little bit more, how you guys have responded to this.
Yeah, so we were able to hit the ground running. That as when the mall closed and we had to close our facility there, we had to move 25 dogs with about 24 hours notice. So we called our foster team, our canine foster team, jumped right in, everyone got picked up. They were all able to go into foster care. We had to shut our gates to the general public at our main facility, so we can't be open to the public. People can't just enter our property anymore. But within a week's time, we changed our model from being generally open, people being able to show up whenever they choose, to by appointment only. They have to be pre-approved for adoption. They have to know which dog or cat they're coming out to meet. And we're doing everything in our parking lot and in our portico area. That way we're abiding by social distancing and wearing our face masks and, you know, sanitizing everything as we go throughout the day. And it's really worked. So it's every hour on our open to the public days, we have an appointment for someone to meet a dog or meet a cat and do all the paperwork in the parking lot. And really, it's helped us be able to talk to adopters more via email to make sure we're matching them with the right pet, instead of our facility's not in the, you know, middle of Albuquerque. We're in northern Rio Rancho. It can be a bit of a trek to come out to us.
Mhm.
So we don't want people to waste their time to drive out here and the dog they want may not like children and they've got little kids, or wants to be an only child and doesn't want to do other dogs, but they have 3 others. So we've really been able to match our adopters even more quickly with our adoptables than ever before.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, yeah, I can see how that would be a benefit, because before people would walk in and then it doesn't really give you a lot of time to be able to vet them as well as you can do it through email.
Yeah, and I mean, we're doing virtual home visits where it's them sending us extra photos of the yards instead of having to go in and do the face-to-face home visits. They're sending us videos. We've looked into doing like a FaceTime or Facebook Messenger live chat, so we can really see the home environment, see those yards, and make sure that our alumni are going to be in the best environment possible for them to thrive and grow.
Yeah. Alumni, is that what you call them?
Yeah. They're alumni. Once part of the, you know, Team Watermelon, they're always part of Team Watermelon. So they're our alumni when they go out and find their forever homes.
I love that. I love that. How is it? I mean, so if somebody wants to adopt, typically I would think they'd go on the website and they'd look and they'd see there would be one. They're not going to choose multiple, I would think, or do they?
No, I mean, we do have some that'll ask to meet multiple, but we really try, you know, dogs and cats all have very unique personalities. So we really talk to them more about what their household is like to pair them with a dog that's gonna fit.
Mhm.
And typically when they do ask for multiple dogs, it could be like, well, this one's kind of hard of hearing and this one's gonna have some sight issues and he can climb a 5-foot fence. So let's look at our parameters to find the right dog for your household.
Right. Yeah.
We have a little Chihuahua right now. They're calling Spider Woman because she can climb a 5-foot chain link fence without blinking an eye.
Wow.
Yeah, I was thinking big dog. Like I have a German Shepherd who can clear a 6-foot fence from a stand. You know, he stands next to it and he's over it, but he's also 6 foot tall when he stands up. You know, so I'm thinking that kind of so Chihuahua. Now I want to see video of that. That sounds like a video in the making right there.
She scales it, uses all 4 paws. The foster cutter like paws on the top, like, oh, is this not what I'm supposed to be doing? I was like, no. Get
Wow.
down.
Chihuahua part monkey, huh?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So Sarah, how do you think that the changes that you've adapted to, is that something that you will continue once all the restrictions are lifted, or how do you think that's going to affect you moving forward?
So we as a team have talked about that a lot collectively on what is our new normal going to be when all the restrictions are lifted, when we get back into the mall, all of those kinds of things. Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure our animals are safe and that our team is safe. Our team has been absolutely phenomenal with working through all of the new normals, all the new procedures, all the new protocols. They've been shuffling and working through it with smiles on their faces, even when the days are tough.
Mhm.
And their feedback has been, they want to keep some of this. They want to keep especially our feline program, doing the cats by appointment only for our ranch cattery has been extremely successful. Our vet clinic manager has been able to properly match the cats. So it's people are getting to know the cats before they even meet them. And the feline program wants to keep that up. They through the new normal into what this new year is going to look like. We want to do it by appointment for tours when we can do full tours, when people don't have to necessarily come for just a particular dog.
Yeah.
We still want them pre-approved. So we know that they're an adopter that we're going to send a dog to, but do them by appointment. That way our team can spend that quality time with every single adopter to make sure our pets are in the best homes possible. So we're going to carry through some of this new normal. It's been beneficial to us and beneficial to our team members working with the public more one-on-one to create that bond and that, being able to communicate with them.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I think, I mean, we've talked about this before when we've done this show and talked to people that run organizations or businesses. And I think it's fascinating to learn how people are adapting and going to take the changes that they've experienced and found in new ways to run their business and coming up with new formats. I mean, it's been fascinating to listen, right, Erica?
Yeah. Yeah, the adaptation has been amazing. And what the forced growth, well, we've always done it this way. Well, you can't do it that way anymore. So what are you going to do now has been very fascinating to see. And the fact that so many of the adaptations that have been discovered are going to be continued.
Right.
So it really is a new normal.
Yeah.
We're just doing this for now, and as soon as we can go back to that, we will.
Yeah.
Even restaurants and things that we've talked to are like, you know what, this has been it's been crappy, but
Right.
but it's also been good because we've X, Y, and Z, and it's helped grow or expand our thought process and our business.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. And I love what you guys are doing out there. The alumni, I'm still stuck on that. I'm like,
Yeah.
that is so cool. That is so cool
Right.
because they're not a number. They're not
No.
they're not a cage. They're an alumni. They've graduated from
Yes.
here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone animal that enters our gates, they have a name, they have a personality. Our team members, our long-term, guys, we know Nick, we know Xena, we know our animals, we know what they like, what they don't like. We know who likes their pools and water. We know who likes to shred their beds and do like a ticker tape parade with the inside. But they're our babies. We care greatly about them. And so when they do go out into the world, we encourage those adopters, send us photos, send us videos, let us know how they're doing. We still want to be able to see them and reconnect and know that they're living their best lives possible.
Right. Oh, that's so wonderful. It's heartwarming.
I know.
Thank you.
Yeah. How did you ever get into what you're doing, Sara?
I lucked out. When I was little, I wanted to be a veterinarian. I've always loved animals, but then there's the whole blood and surgery aspect. I didn't realize as, a little kid that was part of it. I have a background in customer service in hotels, and that's something that I did for years. And fortunately, I was able to join the team here at Watermelon almost 8 years ago as entry level. I had left my job in the hotels, and I just really wanted to get back into my passion with animals. And so I was able to work my way up. And this job is the most amazing thing ever. It's we get to see both the amazing part of humanity and also the not so amazing part of humanity.
Yeah.
When animals come into us abused, neglected, just there are hard days for the team. And for me personally, when when we see them like that. But then at the end of the day, we get to see them flourish. We get to see them in foster care finally gain that weight, finally make those strides. We took in 2 puppies from one of our shelter partners a couple months ago, and it looked, someone had abandoned these 2 little guys on the side of the road, just completely abandoned them. They were on really the brink of death, and one of our fantastic foster families came forward, took these 2 teeny tiny babies in who were having seizures, they weren't doing well. And over almost 2 months, she nursed those babies to health. Tia and Tamara they were just adopted last weekend, and they are these fat, happy, squiggly little puppies now. And it's those stories, it's those animals that keep us going. We took in a litter of 10-day-old kittens yesterday that had been abandoned by their mom in a backyard. And so we have bottle feeding kitten fosters right now that are getting up every 2 hours to feed. Yeah. Wow. Every 2 hours with like the tiniest little bottle ever, and bottle feeding these kittens. And they're committing to them for the next 8 weeks to nurture them, to care for them, to do all of this. And these people aren't getting paid to do this. This is just out of the goodness of their hearts. Our foster team isn't paid, but they open their hearts and their homes every single time. And they take the heartbreak when they may have these animals for months waiting for adoption. Right. And then sending them out into the world to, find their forever homes.
It would be a foster fail every time. I would have.
I don't know. That's the best club.
I don't know how they do it, because I would be like, no.
That's my baby.
Yeah. But it can be a very rewarding, I have fostered for years, and it can be such a rewarding experience. And yes, it is extremely difficult to, see them leave, but you hope that the goal is to get them a permanent, happy life, right?
Exactly. And I mean, the Foster Fail Club is a fabulous club. I am part of that club. I have a 3-legged lab pointer that was supposed to just be a foster, and she's now my ambassador dog and goes to city council meetings and school presentations with me, and is the biggest doofus on the planet. But it's I don't know how some of our fosters do it over and over and over again, but they are amazing.
Heart. Yeah, it takes a very special heart. I'm too greedy. I wouldn't want to keep them. I mean, I know that about myself, that there is no way. If they come here, and this is our property, we have tons of animals on the property. I got 20, whatever, chickens and dogs and cats and all that stuff. This is where animals come to live out their life and die. I mean, this is the safe. They come here. It doesn't matter whatever problems they have, we're going to work through it, because this is where they come to live out their lives. This is the Rainbow Farm, whatever you want to call it. And I used to say this is where they come to die, and people would be like, what? I mean, they're going to live a really long life, and then they're going to
right. Long and happy. Yeah.
But fosters are a very, very special breed. And
absolutely.
Especially when it comes to animals that have had a hard time, that have been rescued out of an abuse situation, because number one, it generally, I mean, you can speak to this, Sarah, I'm sure it takes them 3 to 4 months to adapt to new surroundings, period. And then if they've come from a negative and abusive environment, it can be challenging, to put it lightly.
Absolutely. And we have some that are in our canine foster program that are in perpetual foster homes. They will never be a regular adoptable dog. They were so under socialized or completely unsocialized in the first part of their life that change terrifies them. We have a healer named Trixie that is in a perpetual foster. Humans terrify her. And she's been with us over a year, and she's happy in her foster home. She knows those dogs. She's happy with those dogs. They make her happy. Humans, the humans are dicey for her, and her foster family is very understanding of that. They know that she's not going to, maybe in a couple years she might want to come on the couch and cuddle, but right now she's happier laying in the backyard with the other dogs during the day, getting some sun. And when she comes in, as she comes in and out, she might lay by their feet, or she might want to be in the same room, but they're not forcing anything else on her. They're not wanting to turn her into this a perfect lapdog. And it's those foster homes that allow us to be a no-kill shelter. They're allowing these animals to have some semblance of a forever home, even if it's not a full adoption. They still get love, they still get the attention, and they still get to know a home environment. It's those fosters, our hospice fosters are, I mean, they're taking the dogs and cats toward end of life, and it's, talk about heartbreaking. Those fosters are,
Wow.
and they know what they're getting into with a 14-year-old half blind, half deaf poodle with no teeth. You know, Mr. Grandpa came into us in pretty rough shape, and he has been in a hospice foster for the last few months, and he's doing okay. He has his good days and his bad days, but he has a home that's gonna, you know, care for him for as long as he has.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much for all that you do.
They're wonderful. And now I got to go do, I don't know if I could do a tour. I'd come home with something. I'd be in so much trouble.
Hey, our volunteer program's going to be picking up again. Dog walkers, getting to play with cats. You know, there's without having to adopt, we can definitely still come play with the pooches and the kitties.
So perfect timing. Can you share with us before we end the program, tell us about the volunteers that you need and about foster care and all of that. If somebody is interested in doing any of that, what do they do?
Absolutely. So a great first place to start is going to our website, wmranch.org, just to get our basic contact info, contacts for our foster teams, for our volunteer team. We have had, through this entire pandemic, we have had a group of 6 or 7 volunteers that have been out here 3 times a week, out on their regular schedule, walking their big dogs, their favorite dogs. They have not left our side, and they have been absolutely, I mean, they're the volunteers are the lifeblood of what we do. We have a very small team on our payroll. Since we started in 96, we've helped save over 150,000 animals. Our volunteer team is why we've been able to do that. They allow our kennel teams to be able to clean and make sure everything's sanitized and healthy for our pets. And they're walking these dogs, they're brushing them. The dogs know these volunteers and get so excited when they come out. And so we are going to start doing very small volunteer orientations again. Going to look at doing virtual options. That way people can come back out, get that exercise, get in the fresh air, take the dog out for a walk, give the dog a bath. We're going to start looking at doing doggy days out, where our advanced volunteers can take them to the bosque, take them by the river so they can go play and get some of that extra socialization and interaction that they wouldn't get in a traditional shelter. So we are excited to welcome the public back, to be able to see our volunteers again, to, just to continue everything we've been doing, but let people see what we're doing again too.
That's awesome.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Again, thank you so much for what you and everybody involved with Watermelon Ranch is doing.
Thank you so much for having me and letting me talk a little bit about what we do. I said this place has been such a safe haven for our team during the chaos and for the animals. And it's the public support. It's ladies like yourself that are making it possible, that are helping keep our message out there and allowing us to continue to bring in dogs and cats that are on death row all across the Southwest.
You're wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sarah. We will make sure are you on social media?
I am, and
yes.
The ranch is on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. Absolutely share it, and we will put it up on our pages as well.
Awesome. Great. All right. Have a great day. Thank you.
You too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.